Hello and welcome back to this channel. My name is Dina, and at Way of the Founder, I help you, a disillusioned professional, whether you're an employee or an entrepreneur, heal from and defy societal and career expectations so that you can build a location-independent life on purpose. In today's video, I want to help you overcome some of the prime limiting beliefs about money that you might hold as a nomad or even as someone who wants to become a nomad. By the end of this video, you'll know how to identify a limiting belief, have clear examples of limiting beliefs, and you'll know how to turn a limiting belief into an empowering belief and take inspired action. If you've landed on this video, frankly, you're already ahead of most of your peers. You understand likely that your thoughts can make or break your dreams. Recognizing this is such a crucial step in learning how to overcome limiting beliefs, especially about money, and move confidently toward your dream life as a digital nomad. Personally, one of the biggest beliefs that I had to overcome early on in my entrepreneurial career was that I somehow thought that I had to deserve or justify even the smallest amount of money I was to receive. I definitely had to believe that I had to work really, really hard, and then I had to have a good reason why I even charged for my services in the first place. All of these beliefs, I had to not only first recognize them, but also understand where they came from. And as is the case with most beliefs that we have around money, of course, they came from my upbringing. They came from societal conditioning. They came from all the narratives that the media, my parents, books, teachers had instilled in me, and the narratives that I had subconsciously internalized and made to be my own. So I'm curious right off the bat, as you think about money, what is a narrative? What's a story? What's a belief that you hold about money that somehow in the past has affected how you think of yourself and how you think of your dreams even? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know. So here's the thing. If we don't learn how to reframe limiting beliefs about money, we kind of set ourselves up to fall short of our financial goals and of the lifestyle that we dream of. This means neglecting our potential to achieve financial freedom, the freedom of choice and location, and that's really the essence of the digital nomad lifestyle, right? If you really dig into, well, what's a digital nomad? For me, it's much more about the ability to create freedom of choice and less so about living out of a suitcase. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. You can do and be both of these things at the same time, but I think thinking of being a digital nomad just as this person who doesn't have a permanent address and travels around the world is actually not doing justice to why we want to become nomadic, right? There is something much deeper. There's much deeper yearning for freedom. And in this society, money is simply a means to attain that freedom. So let's look at what a limiting belief about money is in the first place before we dive into some specific examples. A limiting belief about money is a thought mistaken for a fact, which then shapes your actions and how you perceive reality. That's right. In other words, you should not believe your own thoughts. Some thoughts are factually true, others are just opinions mistaken for a fact. Some thoughts empower you, while others are disempowering and outright incorrect, based on a story you've been telling yourself. Limiting beliefs about money thus are typically not facts, they're opinions and often internalized judgments and thoughts about from your upbringing, societal norms, or the media, as I mentioned before. Frequently, limiting beliefs about money thus come from conditioning. They come from conditioning, again, instilled within us by our parents, by society, by the media, and so on and so forth. So once you accept that a limiting belief about money really has to do with your conditioning about wealth, about success, and about deservingness, you're already one step further towards undoing some of these limiting beliefs. So, because now you can understand that even though on the surface you might say, I'm not deserving of money, you can now understand that the way you relate to money, as far as your deservingness is concerned, you might also relate to other things in life in the same way. So once you accept that not all beliefs are fact, you can begin to remove limiting beliefs and shift your mindset. This is a key to achieving financial freedom. So let's look at, I use this term so often, financial freedom. What does that mean? It's more than just money. It's more than just money. It's about freedom of choice. And when we look at freedom of choice, we have to not only look at, oh, do I have enough money to do whatever I choose to do? But we also need to look at, do I feel worthy of doing that? Do I feel deserving of doing that? Do I feel as though I have permission of doing that? Or is there some shame around that? So according to a website called MoneyFit, financial freedom means having enough money, savings, and investments to live the life you desire without depending on a traditional job. So let's apply this to digital nomads. This concept typically expands to include the freedom to work from anywhere. Choose your own hours and afford the lifestyle you've always envisioned. When it comes to how to overcome limiting beliefs as a digital nomad, we're not just talking about money itself. We're also addressing whether you believe you deserve to create the life that you want. So really, the conversation we're having on this video is a conversation about self-worth. It's a conversation that is meant to acknowledge the fear of rejection that you might have. The fear of rejection from your families, mentors, bosses, colleagues, society as a whole, by stepping into the dreams that you have for yourself. These fears are all deeply connected to money mindset. For example, underneath the belief of I don't deserve to make money, which many of us have, lies a much deeper belief, which might sound something like that. If I create a life where I travel full time, my family will reject me. And that deep-rooted belief, that really has to do with shame, the shame of, or the shame, which is the fear of being outcast. So it manifests as, oh, I don't deserve to make money. So be kind to yourself as you watch to the remainder of this video, where I'll go through some examples of limiting beliefs that I come across all of the time within my community. Be kind to yourself. I'm certain that at least a couple of these beliefs will resonate real deeply with you, and my invitation is for you to just be kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself. You're not at fault for believing that. However, you do have the responsibility, the ability to respond differently to your own thoughts, to your own beliefs, and empower yourself through a different response. So that's what we'll do here. Let's dive into some of these limiting beliefs that we tend to have as freedom seekers around money. First belief is this: I have to first save all my money before I can become a digital nomad. Now, I'm not saying you should quit your job on a whim and pray for the best, even though that's kind of what I did. But you've got to see that this idea is factless. If your plan is to save a certain amount of money before you take the plunge, go for it. Like, I'm not saying don't have savings. Don't get me wrong. Do have savings and be intentional about the savings that you create. However, notice how this belief is factless. So if you're planning to take the plunge, once you have X amount of dollars saved, or whatever currency you're saving in, then get clear on the facts. How much are we talking? And what are you basing that number on? Is it a random number? Is it a specific number of, oh, I know that once I move to X country, these will be my monthly expenses, and I want to feel safe enough, which means in my case that I'm saving 6 months worth of those monthly expenses. So immediately right there, you realize, oh, like I need to get really clear on what saving means, because saving without a goal, now you're just saving and saving and saving and sort of hoping that at some point out of these savings will jump some sense of security. So you need to be researching the cost of the places that you want to be traveling to. You need to get clear, what is my anchor for safety? Do I feel safe with 3 months worth of expenses, 6 months worth of expenses? And at some point, my dear, you're just gonna have to take the plunge. And be honest with yourself. Are you saving with a goal in mind, or are you saving to procrastinate? In other words, you have a clear timeline in mind as you say, I need to save, because now it becomes actionable. Now it's just not a thought that you're not taking action on that's preventing you from living the life that you want to live. Now you're actually taking concrete and intentional action on it. It's great to have a rainy day fund, again, and I recommend it, but without clarity on what you need and when, saving can just be another excuse that holds you back from living your freedom-based lifestyle. Another limiting beliefs around money for us nomads is this: I need a lot of money to be a digital nomad. This also sometimes manifests as, oh, I just need to build my business to X, Y, and Z dollars. So there is some truth in that latter belief. However, you don't need a lot of money to become a digital nomad. The whole point, well, not the whole point, but the nature of being a digital nomad typically is not that you travel as though you're on vacation perpetually. The nature of being a nomad is that you travel as though you want to integrate yourself into everyday life in multiple different destinations. So naturally, with that in mind, you won't go for the 5-star hotel. Typically, you want to go for an actual apartment, which offers you the convenience of everyday life and also happens to be a lot cheaper than just booking a room for a whole month in a 5-star hotel. You can live very well in many digital nomad hotspots for much less than you think. That's the other piece to that, right? So when you say I need a lot of money, again, what are you basing that amount off of? Do you have a specific amount in mind? Now, also, if you're building up to say like, oh, I want to make like $3,000 regularly through my business before I quit my job, take the plunge and begin to travel nomadically, well, now you also want to be looking at which destinations are you traveling to, because some destinations are really, really cheap. And what that means for your entrepreneurial journey is that you can reinvest more of your income back into the business, which in turn will accelerate your business growth. Whether that's, by hiring top-notch coaches, expanding your reach, or building long-term wealth simply by investing the money that you have surplus off of because you're moving around places that aren't as expensive to live in. So no, you don't need to hit 6 figures before you start traveling, right? Whatever that means, I need to be making a lot of money. You need to be making some money. I do not recommend just sort of like building the business on the literal fly. Give yourself some preparation time, but you don't need to be making a shitload of money. Like, remember that as you travel, you'll run your business, and part of running your business means that you get to grow your business on the road as well. Just get really factual about aligning your lifestyle with your current business income, or rather, aligning your business income with your desired lifestyle. I personally recommend building a steady income before you start to travel, and then arranging your travel plans around your business for fast and aligned success. But notice that steady income, again, it does not mean 6 figures. Clarify your numbers. Get them factually straight. Typically, the moment you notice yourself living in the land of vague statements, you know that you've got yourself a limiting belief. Moving on to the third limiting belief that I come across very often. I don't have the skills to make money online. Now, here's what I know about you. You know how to read, you know how to listen to a podcast, likely you're getting some form of paycheck. So if this is true, you already got the foundation. You need to learn to start making money online. You can easily find the resources to help you build skills, whether that's designing a website, learning about taxes, or following nomads like me for tips and tricks and proper strategic guidance on creating a location-independent business. However, if you lead your life from a place of, I don't have the skills to make money online, that becomes your reality. Can you flip it and say, I'm going to acquire the skills I need to make money online. Where do I need to look? So transform this belief into, I can easily learn all of the skills I need to make money online, and I likely already have about 90% of what I need, if I'm being honest. The next belief is, and this breaks my heart when I hear it, I'm not ready, but I'd like to be a nomad someday. Honestly, this is just, it's actually one of the most frequent comments, and in that, the most heartbreaking comments I get on my articles. And lovingly, I call BS on that. First of all, one day is not a date on the calendar. And second of all, I'm not ready is such a vague statement. What does that mean? And what do you need to get ready? What do you need to do to get yourself ready? Do you even want this lifestyle? Chances are you're more ready than you think. And your hesitance is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of disapproval. So if this rings true for you, you want to be having a conversation with yourself around worthiness, around shame, around that fear of disapproval, of rejection. But when you dig into what's behind that belief, you can actually now begin to start taking small and strategic steps towards becoming a digital nomad right now. In other words, you can ready yourself to become a nomad. And if you're brave and ready to take these steps, I have a masterclass just for you so that I can help you create a plan towards quitting and start creating your own purpose-aligned business and creating a dream lifestyle. And that masterclass just takes 60 minutes. It's like, here are the things that you want to be doing, and it offers further mindset shifts as well. That masterclass is called the Freedom Leap, and you can grab it at the link below in the description if you need it and if you want it to get yourself ready. Another limiting belief is, I don't have the money to invest into learning new skills. So, I always say you vote with two things in life. You vote with your credit card and you vote with your schedule, right? So if this particular limiting belief does not hold true for you, then maybe you have a belief of, I don't have the time to build a business while I'm running my 9 to 5. Well, the thing is, whatever your priority in life is, or whatever your dream is, has to be reflected in the priorities of your life in your present day. So, in other words, you can either make this belief to be factually true, or you can combat it. And you can say, okay, great, that's not actually true. I'm going to start setting aside money for what it is that I really, really want. See, this masterclass that I just offered you, it costs less than a dinner out with your friends in most American cities. Are you willing to make space in your budget, or are you willing to make space in your calendar for your dreams? Do you feel yourself to be important enough to yourself to do that? I'm sure you would make space for your best friend if she needed you. Can you make space for yourself since you need yourself? What would it take to create the money you need to learn this new skill? And do you really need money in the first place? Or can you instead set aside time and learn for free on YouTube, and then eventually, once you've built a foundation for free, step into a paid container? The truth is, you can create wealth, freedom, or any of your dreams if you're willing to change how you think about money. Start by considering what you can sacrifice or change in order to invest in yourself. Maybe it's that dinner on Friday nights. And notice when I say sacrifice, it's a temporary sacrifice. And maybe it's a sacrifice of things that you didn't really feel to be important in your life anyway, but you're just on autopilot and you just do it because it's the thing to do. Can you rearrange? Can you reallocate some of your time and financial and energetic resources towards your dreams? The answer is yes, by the way. You just need to make a choice. Now, another belief is this: I'm not born into money, or I'm not lucky. Most of us were not. Simple as that. I was not. Certain it was not. Start looking for and focusing on the lucky things in your life. If you say I'm not lucky, you're not going to be lucky. And this is not even about luck. This is about receiving the good that's already in your life and recognizing even the smallest of fortunes and gifts in your life right now. So I personally do this through a daily gratitude practice. It forces me to see where I'm being supported, where things align, and how opportunities work in my favor, however small it may be. It may be like I'm so grateful for my boyfriend who just brought me coffee in the morning. Like whatever it may be, start by allowing yourself to recognize where you are lucky, to recognize where you're being supported, where things do align, because what we focus on grows. The more you focus on these lucky moments, the more productive you'll be, and the more opportunities you'll see and pursue. Again, what you focus on grows. It's this intentional focus that helps me and many others design a new reality. In other words, create money. If you weren't born into money, doesn't mean that you have to die without money. But you have to recognize that, oh, I wasn't born into money. That's limiting. It's limiting you from looking at, oh, actually, I have hundreds of opportunities to create money. And it starts right here. Look at what's already present in your life that, again, aligns and that you have to be grateful for. One of the first things I ask my Freedom Seekers community, which I'll talk about later, I ask the members inside of that community is, where do you experience freedom in your life right now? Right? We step into this life of digital nomadism and we're like, oh, I just want to create more freedom. Well, but really, you already have freedom. The fact that you're even allowed to watch this video on changing your mindset tells me that you have some form of intellectual freedom over your thoughts. That's a heck of a lot of freedom to be grateful for. So I'm asking you, I'm begging you, look at what's in your life presently and send some gratitude that way. Now, the final limiting belief that I want to talk about in this video is this: being rich makes me a bad person. Now, I want to qualify rich here because you didn't necessarily come here to become a rich digital nomad, but you came here because you seek more freedom, and part of seeking more freedom absolutely means creating more money. So this is a very common belief. I was told this growing up. Rich people are bad people and they're greedy and yeah, just bad across the board. That's what my parents told me. So I thought, I can't be rich because if I'm rich, I'm a bad person. But really, who decided that? Like, who decides if you're going to be a rich bad person or a rich good person? You. Boom, empowerment. Boom, you're taking back control. See, again, this limiting belief often stems from our upbringing, from parents, teachers, etc., the media making comments about rich people. And we see it in stories about wealthy people being tied to scandals, to tax evasion, reinforcing the idea that being rich equals being bad. But here's the truth. My background is in fundraising for classical music arts organizations across the United States. So I used to talk to a lot of wealthy people who had a lot of surplus money to give. I met some of the most caring, genuine people who just also happened to be wealthy. People that would hand me a 5 or 6 figure check for the orchestra at the end of the really lovely conversation. A conversation that changed me from the ground up. So here's what I found to be true about money and people who have money. Money doesn't make you a bad person. Money simply amplifies what's already there. If you're a good person, money will help you do more good. And if you don't know how to manage your wealth, more money will not come with an instruction manual. So ask yourself, what values do you live by? How could having more money amplify the positive impact that you already have on the world and want to continue to make on the world? So here are your actions. Here are the actions I want you to walk away from this video with. Start now, plan later. Do you know how to overcome limiting beliefs about money fastest? I didn't read this properly, but whatever, we'll just roll. Like, the fastest way to overcome limiting beliefs about money is by doing and by providing yourself with evidence to the contrary of your limiting beliefs. So specifically, one of the best way to kick the like, oh, once this, then that thinking to the curb is by just starting. You have a goal in mind, great, go for it. Set aside an hour every day to go for it. Entrepreneurship is messy, always, until the very end, it's messy. Until the exit, it's messy. So the perfect strategy isn't going to be born out of planning and ruminating about it, but out of letting yourself go for it and to fail and to learn from it. So take the plunge, get messy. That's action step number 1, get messy. Second action step, transform your environment. If your dream is to become a nomad, or even if you're already a nomad and you're ready to kick your job to the curb and replace it with your own business, chances are your dream is a lot bigger than that of most people around you. Time to surround yourself with like-minded people who match the magnitude of your vision. You can start by listening to podcasts, reading blogs like this one, joining online communities, Facebook groups, or my community, so that you can be in the space where people have a similar mindset. Then put your money where your mouth is and join a digital nomad community. Again, maybe mine, surround yourself with those living your dream and working toward it. So if you want to join my community is called the Freedom Seekers Community. It's created for online entrepreneurs who are seeking freedom from the inside out. You can join at any time. It's a monthly membership, and if it's not for you, you can just leave. But let me tell you, people change their relationship to themselves, money, and their dreams from the ground up inside this community. So why would you ever want to leave, really? Anyway, the link to explore the community is below in the description if you want to join. You can join right there. If you have questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get them answered as soon as possible. The third step for you to take after this video is to create a budget. Limiting belief, I used to think that creating a budget is a poor man's thing to do, but the truth is the wealthiest people in businesses, they all have a budget. So creating and living on a budget actually allows you to move towards financial freedom so much faster, simply because it facilitates a space where you'll automatically track and therefore save all your expenses and income. It really helps you to set aside money for your priorities and save money on things that aren't a priority. And finally, create and save money. You can't build financial freedom without creating money. So how do you create money? By learning how to build a scalable business and by learning how to invest. And you want to save money off of anything that you make. So my recommendation is to start out by investing 5% of your income and saving 10% post-taxes. Once you've built your rainy day savings fund, you can channel extra funds into your investments. I also recommend donating about 5% of your earnings to give back, pay it forward, to sort of spread the wealth where you want to make a change, because that's another big element of becoming wealthy, is to actually have the means, the resources to affect the change that we want to see in the society and our communities that we're a part of. Moving to a country with lower cost of living can help you speed up your journey towards towards building your business, but then also becoming wealthy and financially free. So if you already run your business successfully, like I do, keeping your expenses low will expedite your journey towards that. Simply for the fact that you're cutting expenses and now you have money to move towards investing. By the way, investing doesn't only mean into the stock market. It also means investing into your team, investing into your own personal business and mindset growth. So when I say investing, I'm talking about both. Like putting your money aside into the stock market, but then also reinvesting into your business and into your own growth. Lastly, make sure that you have the right financial systems in place to be able to automate your savings and investments as a nomad, but that's a topic and a story for another time and another video. So coming to the conclusion, to the end of this video, I'm really curious, what are the limiting beliefs that I've shared today that sort of called you out? Which changes are you going to make today as a result of this video? And let me know in the comments below, and do share any remaining blocks that you may have, and I'll offer further guidance based on what you say. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you in the next video.